Hi everybody, Polymel RN, Wise Woman Nurse, popping in to share a little wind and air salutation wisdom with you today. I am going to do the standing, sitting, and lying on my mat version of these yoga postures. I'm going to get rid of my face now so we can go over this slide, and I'll be right back. So this recording is going to be the first recording for chapter 7 in the book Sacred Circle Shamanic Yoga for releasing stress and trauma. Chapter 7 is on the elements, and there are 5 elements. They're down here at the bottom. You can see this image down here of fire, water, earth, wind, air, and ether. So in the book, I put wind air first because this book is about calming our nervous system for the purpose of releasing stress and trauma, and not just releasing stress and trauma, but walking through our daily life without reacting to stress and trauma, without reactivating those things in our life. So it's bringing this peaceful existence to our being. And that begins with our breath. So the 5 elements in the book in chapter 7 begin with the element of wind, air. And then next week I'll do fire, the week after water, earth, and then we'll move to ether. This image down here of the elements is how I practice them. Again, that's the shamanic yoga piece. Fire in the east, water in the south, earth in the west, wind, air in the north, and ether, the container of all. So I explain in the book why I practice with those specific elements in those specific directions. Another piece of the book, we'll get to that later. Here in chapter 7, when we're working on the elements, your body will be the container to practice these yoga postures, to release that which no longer serves your highest good. Your body is that container. Ether is the container of all the elements. So whether it's the container of the cell membrane around the cell, it's the container of our whole body, it's the container of the space that you live in, or the container of the whole earth and cosmos. It is the container that holds all. So today, the container will be you. You are the vessel performing, practicing these yoga postures. Fire down here is the initiative to take action to practice these postures. Water, we'll move to earth first. Earth is the groundedness in your body to feel somatically into your body. So you practice breath to come back into the sensate feeling of your body so that you can be grounded and release. Wind air is the breath of life that flows through you. The breath of life is sacred reciprocity because we share the breath of life of everything on this planet. When we breathe in air, we're breathing in air that every other being on this planet has breathed in before, and then we release it back to them so they can breathe it again. There is no higher sacred reciprocity than that, than sharing the actual breath of life. And then water over here. Water is the flow of your experience to move your head-mind energy down into your heart, your gut action energy up into your heart. It's moving that energy from head to heart, gut to heart, into the sacred heart experience. And when we practice yoga postures and breath work, we come in to our heart space and we have that somatic experience where we can release stress and trauma and also be with inside ourselves to feel deeply and to live from that sacred heart space. So today we'll be practicing wind breath, wind air breath, in our ether container of our body in postures. So the other piece that I wanted to speak about is these posture series that are in the book are my gift to you so that you can create your own yoga practice at home. And I say that because yoga studio classes they're a portal for you to learn amazing things from teachers, and you will draw the teachers that you need to you. They'll just be there in your life, if you allow life to flow. And so those teachers and those yoga classes and practicing those yoga postures and the wisdom that you're learning from yourself by listening to your intuition, from the wisdom that yoga teachers will share with you, that is a portal for you to move into creating your own home practice. And these posture series in the books are my gifts so that you have something to work from. You have a space to work from at home, so you're not just sitting around going, what the hell do I do? What posture do I do? You have these here in the series. You can lay the book right out in the front of your mat and do them in the series that I share them, or pick and choose. Use your intuition to know what it is that you need for your body today. And I guarantee you'll get better at that as you practice. And I dare to say a daily yoga practice. Don't laugh at me, but even 15 minutes of daily yoga practice, you will get so much better tapping into your intuition. Once we start releasing that heavy energy hucha in our body, our intuition rises to the surface much more easily. And I'm going to compare this to going to a yoga studio and a home practice. I'm going to compare that to, let's say you walk into an eatery, a local eatery in your town that shares the best local grown, organic, seasonal food. And not only do they make this food for you into meals so that you can sit down and enjoy them, but they also provide wisdom education around why these foods are important and why local, organic, and seasonal is important. So it's the whole package. You get this food to nourish your body, but you also get the education around it. Well, unless you're going to show up at that place to eat your 3 meals a day or whatever it is that you eat, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, the purpose is to take that wisdom home with you so you can create that home practice of making your own meals at home with local, organic, seasonal foods that really deeply nourish your body. Same thing. You go to the yoga class to learn so that you can take that home and have your own practice that deeply nourishes body, mind, spirit. So let's move into this wind air salutation, and I will practice it standing, sitting, as well as lying down, and doing these postures, practicing these postures in the best way possible for each one of their expressions. So I'm just going to remind you, looking at the postures, what is it we're doing? Are we extending the spine? Yes. We extend the spine in everything we do because that creates space between the vertebrae so that it makes room for your discs and it makes room for energy to flow from that spinal column, from those chakras, that picture in the center, so that you're sending nervous system energy, life force energy from the chakras out to the periphery of the body. And when that spine is extended beautifully, then life force energy flows in the rest of the body. That spinal area, those chakras, are literally the magic wand, the tree of life of your body. And when we keep them expanded and extended, free-flowing energy moves out to the periphery. So we do that extension in every posture. But then, is the posture forward folding? Is the posture back bending? Is the posture doing a little twist of the spine, or is the posture doing a lateral bend of the spine? And if the posture, as you see it here in the picture, isn't accessible for you, No worries at all. Look at it, see what's happening in that posture. Extension, forward fold, back bend, twist, lateral bend of the spine, and put that into action however it works best for your beautiful body in this time and space right now. And as you have this home practice, what that looks like will change. But put that spinal chakra action into practice with nice, slow, deep breaths, and you're golden. That's what you're here to do. And that will help to release and relax the body into peace mode so you can walk in that peace mode in your daily life. Okay, into the postures. I just want to circle back to the local, seasonal, organic eatery information before I get into these yoga postures. So I completely understand that the ability to eat high quality food can be very expensive. I don't say these things lightly, and I realize access to nourishing food at affordable prices is both generational and ancestral trauma. So I hope that bringing yourself back into peace mode, these beautiful works that, the work that we do with our breath, with our spinal movement, can support releasing personal, generational, and ancestral trauma. And I also say this from a space of deep knowledge. I have worked in 3 different nonprofits volunteering to bring local food justice and sustainable food systems to the area that I live in. So I don't say these things lightly. I've also worked as a health education teacher in public schools and tried very hard to get local, seasonal, and organic food into the school cafeterias. So I understand these struggles as much as I can through the filters of my life. And I just wanted to make that piece known. So when we're speaking of these postures, I'm just going to go through these series very quickly. So this is obviously extension. This is extension. This is forward fold. This is a half forward fold. So you're forward folding the spine. Back bend, forward bend. We get into some fun postures here with a little bit of multiple things going on. So besides the spinal work that we're doing here, now we're also starting to work on strength, balance, and flexibility. And I say these words because yoga postures obviously work on our physical body. So they help to create strength in our muscles, in our bones, in our connective tissue. So the actual physicalness of us. But that, and balance and flexibility within our nervous system. So, balance and flexibility so that we respond more quickly to things like we trip on something. Instead of going flat on our face or butt, we have an inner sense of balance that helps us to recalibrate and stay on our feet, catch ourselves. So here in this posture, you'll see there's definitely a spinal extension going on, but there's also strength, balance, and flexibility work. Here as well, we have extension, and then we have a twist because the body is twisting. So you can put your hand on the floor, and we're working on strength, balance, and flexibility here. This is spinal extension, but we've got some twisting in the arms and the legs, bending down, supporting ourselves in a very balanced posture that also takes flexibility. So we've got extension, strength, balance, and flexibility. Plank posture, spinal extension, and strength. Plank posture is upper push-up posture. Then we have lower push-up posture. Again, it's extension of the spine, and there's strength. It takes strength to hold yourself up in upper push-up or lower push-up. Then we come down onto our bellies and do flying bird, where we are extending our arms and legs up. So we're balancing on our torso as we elongate our spine. And then there's a back bend component to this, with strength, with balance, with flexibility. Downward facing dog. We are forward folding, but there's also a back bend component in here. You'll feel it in your upper back as you stretch and push your feet down into the floor, lift your body up high, extending that spine from your head to your tailbone. You'll feel in that shoulder area a bit of a back bend. So there's strength here, there's flexibility here, and there's balance. And then we're just coming back up to the eagle here, down here, and we're repeating those postures in a backwards formation. So we're just doing eagle, half moon, warrior, and then coming up here and repeating these postures, the half forward fold, the forward fold, the extended mountain, and the mountain posture. And you could also, if you wanted to, after warrior here, toss in some more flight postures. So you're getting that ease of lifting your arms up and gently throwing them backwards into a back bend, and then forward folding over your legs. And you can do that 3 or 4 times. It's a gentle, flowing, dance-like motion.
So remember the motions, the extension, the forward fold, the back bend, the twist, and the lateral bend. Remember that when you're doing these postures. And also remember the strength, the balance, and the flexibility. That is about physical as body, mind, spirit. It creates strength, balance, and flexibility in all 3 parts of your being. So the first is mountain pose. It's extension. Extended mountain pose, extension. Forward fold. And I'm going to turn sideways. Forward fold. Forward, half forward fold. Then we come into flight. And it's just a gentle lifting and coming forward. Lifting and coming forward. Now this next posture, I usually do, excuse me, kitty, I usually do with my arms back this way. Extension, balance, strength, flexibility. You can also do it with your arms out here. Now we're going to get a little bit of a twist. Extension, balance, flexibility. Eagle posture. And then you put the opposite arm over. So my right leg is over my left arm is over my right. And I'm coming down into a squat, extending my spine, and I've got the twist of arms and legs. Flexibility, balance, strength. And that's left leg. So now we're going to go into the upper push-up, lower push-up, flight, down dog. Then the postures in the series, just do them backwards again. So whichever leg you did them on before, I was doing them on the left leg, I'd now repeat them on the right leg. So we're going to do the same thing in the chair. Mountain pose. So we're just extending the spine. Extended mountain. Forward fold. Bring my butt forward on the seat. Half forward fold. Flight. Now here comes the fun part, and if this takes you a while to move your body, don't stress about it. Just keep taking those slow, deep breaths, and it all works out fine. So we're going to do the warrior. You can use the chair to do warrior to support yourself by putting the arms up like this. You can also sit on the chair and hold it this way. So whatever works for you. Same goes for the half moon. Turn your foot towards the chair to get a little bit more of a twist, and you're using the chair. You can sit on the chair and get yourself into a extended half moon that you're just staying on the chair. Eagle. You can use the eagle, the chair, and if you have to do the parts separately, that is fine as well. Plank, using the chair to be an upper push-up, lower push-up, lie on the chair, flight, downward facing dog. And then you just work backwards and repeat them again. Now, because you're not always on your leg, think about that. Did I do it in the chair? Did I do it on my leg? And then flip what you're doing so that you've done it on the left leg and you've done it on the right leg. So when we're doing this, we have to be creative, because sometimes it's not easy to do a posture lying down. So you have to be creative and think about what, again, your spine is doing and how to best create it. So some of them I'm going to create laying completely flat. Others I will do kind of from a kneeling position. So mountain, extended mountain, forward fold. You can do forward fold like this. Half forward fold. Sitting up for flight. Then when we come to the warrior ones, so you can do it on your hands and knees, and I'm going to do my right side. So you've got right side up. When you go back, you do it on the left side. You can also do this lying down, right side up. Then when we get to the half moon, so we're going to be lifting up our arm and leg. And you can do this from a kneeling position. Eagle. Wrapping the right leg around the left, left arm around the right. And hold your limbs up. That builds strength and flexibility. And then we're coming into upper push-up. We've done this. Lower push-up, flying, and then the last pose is down dog. And then you just go back and repeat them on the opposite sides in the order that you see in the series in the book. Thank you.
Thanks for being here. And I want to remind you, you are the medicine. You are the magic. Your medicine is magical, and your magic is medicinal. Polly Umel, RN, Wise Woman Nurse, signing off. Bye-bye.